We will be starting the program in exactly 3 minutes. So I'm asking everyone to find their seats and perhaps begin your meditation to enjoy this wonderful program that has been prepared for you today. So just in about another 3 minutes, we are going to begin. Brothers and sisters, on behalf of the Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton, CEO and founder, our civil rights leader of this day and time, Reverend Dr. W. Franklin Richardson, our chairman, and Michael Hardy, our attorney and executive vice president, we welcome you to the Black History Month program celebration at the House of Justice, the National Action Network. Let's give it a round of applause. My name is Sister Althea Aaron, and I am pleased to be before you today as your mistress of ceremonies. And so we're going to move forward in just having this program. I'd like to just mention that this is truly a collaboration. It's a collaboration of the NAN committees. We have represented in this program our Education Committee, NAN PAC, Disabilities Committee, Arts and Culture, Men's Auxiliary, Youth Huddle, and I'm from the Women's Auxiliary. Amen. This celebration is the anniversary of the 110th birthday of Rosa Parks, civil rights leader. She would have been 110 on today. So without further ado, we're going to get this program started. An hour is well spent. I'd like to ask Reverend McLennan to give us our opening prayer.
Father, we thank you for your grace and for your mercy. We thank you for your unmerited favor. God, we thank you for this celebration of Black History Month. We thank you, oh God, for the late woman of God, none other than Rosa Parks. We ask you, oh God, to bless us as we come to celebrate history. We thank you, Lord God, for the history in past, present, and in future. God, have your way as always, Lord. Be in this place, Lord. We thank you for our leader, none other than the Dr. Reverend Al Sharpton. Bless him, keep him as only you can. And Lord, we'll be so careful to give you the praise, the honor, and the glory. And the Church of the Living God said, Amen.
Amen. Go right there.
Well, thank you for that rousing prayer. Next, we're going to ask our chaplain, Naomi Jones, who is going to lead us in the national anthem, the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. We will ask all of you to rest on your feet when she begins. Thank you.
Please stand in respect to the national anthem. Join along if you know it. Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening
have thrown blood was slaughtered out of the gloomy past, till now we stand at last with the white gleam of our bright star is cast.
Thank you so much for that wonderful rendition. We thank you so much, Reverend. We're asking now for Sister Dawn Jones to come, and she is going to do a libation, and we will be having a moment of silence. If Sister Dawn would make her way to the podium, please.
Thank you. Greetings, House of Justice, and happy Black History Month. The libation statement. Our fathers and mothers came here, lived, loved, struggled, and built here. At this place, their labor and love rose like the sun and gave strength and meaning to the day. For them then, who gave so much, we give in return. On the same soil, we will sow our seeds and liberation and a higher level of human life. May our eyes be the eagle, our strength be the elephant, and the boldness of our life be like the lion. And may we honor and remember our ancestors and the legacy they left for as long as the sun shines and the water flows. For our people everywhere then, for Cleopatra, Nefertiti, Nzinga, Samari, Shaka, Yasantawa, and all others known and unknown who defended our ancestral history, humanity, and land from alien invaders. Ashe. For Muhammad Ali, Samuel J. Battle became the first African-American police officer in New York City. Shirley Chisholm, Mary McLeod Bethune, Marcus Garvey, Fannie Lou Hamer, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, who we honor on this day, would have been her 110th birthday, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Nat Turner, and all others who dare to defend, define, and develop our interests as a people. For our children and the freer and fuller lives they will live because we struggled. Roll call of those who died for your right to vote. Andrew Goodman, Michael Swerner, James Chaney, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Lewis Allen, Vernon Dammer, Medgar W. Evers, Andrew Goodman, Jimmy Lee Jackson, Reverend George W. Lee, Herbert Lee, Mrs. Viola Luso, Reverend James J. Reed, Lamar Smith, whites too have lost their lives for the rights for blacks to vote. For Esther, Naomi, and Ruth, all noble women of character, who can find she is far more than rubies? Proverbs 31. For Philip Pennell, Amadou Diallo, who we remember today, who was assassinated 28 years ago on this date, Ramali Graham, Sean Bell, Alberta Sproul, Aina Jones, Michael Brown, Nicholas Haywood Jr., Abner Louima, Trayvon Martin, who we'll recognize on tomorrow, Eric Garner, George Floyd, Andrew Brown Jr., Bernard Placid Jr., Tyree Nicholas, and all families who have been assassinated, killed, and murdered, and are shot by the police. Also Chris Owens, as a result to gun violence. And you all can call names as I'm calling names out. Ashe. For our fathers, sons, and daughters, children, the freer and fuller lives will live because we struggled. For our late chairman, Reverend Dr. Wyatt T. Walker, my late pastor, Reverend Dr. Clarence P. Grant, Reverend Dr. Calvin O. Butts, who instituted this day of special commemoration and enlightenment. Ashe. Also for our deceased family members past who have supported us along the way, my paternal grandparents, Mr. and Mrs. Nixon, my maternal grandparents, Linton and Josephine Carter, my parents, Milton O. Jones Sr., Ruthie Lane Carter Jones, uncles, Edward Jones, Arthur Carter, Melvin Carter, Richard Carter, Jerome Carter, Aunt Shirley Carter Spence, aunt-in-law Kathleen Carter, Vernell Carter, cousins Nanny Towns, and others. You all can, Ashe, you all can call your family members. Ashe. Finally, for our musicians who have transferred from labor to reward, William C. Buster Bailey, Ubi Blake, Will Marion Cook, James Reese Europe, John E. Jackson, Brooks Kerr, Larry Lucy, Willie J. Mack, Henry Mitten, Gladys Seals, Zuddy Singleton, Fred Staton, Dickie Wells, and Fess Williams. Whitney Houston. And thank you for our president and founder, Reverend Dr. Alfred C. Sharpton, and chairman, Reverend Dr. Franklin Richardson, who will lead us in the movement to build and for the continuing struggle through which we will inevitably reconstruct and rescue our history and humanity in our own struggle and according to our own needs, also our own image. That concludes the libation ceremony, and I'll turn it back over to our mistress of ceremony, Althea Aaron.
Well, thank you so much for that. We will continue our program by asking for opening remarks to be given by Dr. Sanaya Canton, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Sanaya Beckles-Canton. I am a member of the Education Committee here at NAN. Gina Williams, who is the co-chair, who is the chair, was unable to be with us. She had another engagement. She will be back. I just wanted us to center ourselves around this moment. The fact that we're here to celebrate and remember those who came before us, those who are currently with us, and be mindful of how we must make sure Black history is taught to our children so that they can continue to carry the torch. So in this moment, I greet all of you. Thank you for being here, and hope and pray that during this month of Black history that you will pass history on to a child that you may know who doesn't know what our forefathers and ancestors did. Thank you.
And thank you for that. Bringing us greetings at this time is going to be none other than Derek Perkison. He is our New York City Field Director. Dr. Perkison, I'm elevating you, Doctor. Okay. I think he's in the back taking care of some other business. He's a busy man, crisis director. So he's a busy man. Okay, well, when he comes back out, we're going to ask him to come up. Right now, we're going to receive welcome from Dr. Alvin Ponda.
Yeah. Thank you, Althea. Today is a great day. This very sight and number fills me with Black pride. And I want to congratulate all of the committees that have worked in collaboration for this event. Again, it's worth mentioning the Education Committee, Political Action Committee, Disability Committee, Arts and Culture, Women's Auxiliary, Men's Auxiliary, and the Youth Huddle. I bring you welcoming greetings on behalf of our chapter president, Bill Griffin. Let me take this opportunity first to give you some personal history that's related to Black history. When I was 17 in Chicago, I joined Operation Push under Reverend Jesse Jackson. And we had Saturday rallies just like the one we have here. And so it was a great thing when I came to New York to be able to join NAN. When I got to New York, so that was one guiding light, Jesse Jackson. When I got to New York, I saw this brother on TV campaigning for Dinkins. He sounded intelligent, but he sounded also a little militant. I said, how can he have that mix? His name was Reverend Calvin O. Bush III at Abyssinian. And I started my social justice work in New York City, working with him. We were going around painting over posters and smashing records because of misogynist records. Brothers and sisters, NAN has been marching and fighting for civil rights since 1991. It's one of the leading civil rights organizations in the nation with chapters throughout the United States. And our organization, as you know, works within the spirit and tradition of Martin Luther King to promote a modern civil rights agenda. And we at NAN are especially proud of our leader during this difficult time. I was so proud of him the other day in Memphis, as Attorney Trump said at the Tyree Nichols funeral, Reverend Sharpton shows up. And today I announced that Reverend Sharpton has gone international, and with an upcoming visit to the United Kingdom, and we're going to start a new chapter in London. Again, I want to welcome you to the House of Justice, home of the New York City chapter, the center of a continued civil rights agenda. Thank you.
So thank you, Dr. Ponder. You gave us a little bit of history on yourself, and so appreciated. Thank you. We are going to ask our sister Jewel Gittens to come at this time. She's going to read the statement of purpose. Thank you.
All right.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jewel Gittens, and I want to welcome everybody here to the start of our Black History Month Forum at the National Work Word. We're here today to ask everyone to commit 1 hour to mentoring someone. Everyone have skills and experience to share as a mentor. This is basically, I'm going to basically make this in conjunction basically with Black history and say 1 word, 1 hour can be all that someone needs and that affects a positive change in someone's life. What the difference between National Mentoring versus Month? Both aim to help people find mentors and create fruitful relationships that help both people and be more fruitful lives and careers. The day tends to be more of a concentrated effort, while the month is more flexible. Excuse me. National Mentoring Day was established in 2002 and recognized yearly by all presidents and their administration. And now we're currently celebrating National Mentoring Month. And this is a time to celebrate the power of mentoring and encouraging and others to explore how mentoring programs that can enable organizations to create more productive engagement and satisfy people's needs. And this is something that we need basically for Black history. We need to continue to teach, the history, and in certain states now they're shutting it down where they're not even basically trying to teach little kids in 6th grade basically about our history. So we need to all come together and mentor and continue to basically make our history known. Ever since October 27, 2002, the U.S. has celebrated National Mentoring Day, which is now turned into National Mentoring Month in 2020. And this is a perfect time to think of a mentor, someone that's helped you shape into the person that you are today. It's time to celebrate them. Excuse me, National Mentoring Day Month was created to highlight the importance of mentoring in all forms. Every January, our national celebration at the store where she worked as a seamstress. Parks basically was the mother of the civil rights movement and made the decision to remain in her seat in Montgomery, Alabama, because she did believe she should have to move because of her race, even though that was the law. And Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat in 1955. This wasn't the first time that she had a clash with a bus driver whose name was James Blake. Parks stepped into her very crowded bus on a chilly day 12 years earlier and paid a fare at the front. And as you know, you paid your fare, you had to get off the bus, go through the back door, and then basically take a seat. And if someone basically wanted that seat, you still had to get up and give them the seat, even though you had paid and you're sitting in a designated area. Excuse me. She stood on her ground until Blake pulled her coat sleeve in rage and demanded her cooperation. She left the bus rather than give in. On December 5th, she was found guilty of violating segregation laws and given a suspended sentence and fined $10 plus $4 in court fees. Meanwhile, public participation in the boycott was much larger than even the optimists in the community had anticipated. Nixon and some other members decided to take advantage of this momentum, forming the Montgomery Improvement Association, the MIA, to manage the boycott, and they elected Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., new to Montgomery. He was just only 26 as the MIA president. 60 years later, a respected African-American seamstress who was born weary of the radical oppression in which she had been steered into her whole life, told a Montgomery bus driver no. After he ordered her to give up her seat so white murderers could sit down, called the mother of the civil rights movement, Rosa Parks, invigorated the struggle over radical equity when she refused to give up her seat to a white man in Montgomery, Alabama. And like I said, this is basically what launched the march. You know, and you had almost 17,000 people that joined into this march. Excuse me. I'm just going to basically kind of go in and just kind of read it basically for time and just let you know that the amount of money that was lost in the Montgomery bus ride basically was like 1.2 trillion and reparations. So these people were very, very, very seriously about basically trying to bring about change, which we did, refused. It's like almost a whole year and a half and we refused to ride the bus. And I'm glad we all stood fast and made that happen. And as you know today, we can ride any bus, we can sit anywhere, we can do whatever it is that needs to be done, absolutely. On November 13th, the Supreme Court ruled that the bus segregation was unconstitutional. The boycott ended on December 20th, the day that the court-written order arrived in Montgomery. Parks, who had lost her job and experienced harassment all year, became known as the mother of civil rights. Rosa Parks' life after the boycott faced continual harassment and threats in the wake of the boycott. Parks, along with her husband and mother, eventually decided to move to Detroit, where her brother resided. Parks became an administrative aide in the Detroit office for Congressman John Conyers in 1965, and a post she held until 1988, her retirement. Her brother, her husband, and mother all died of cancer between 1977 and 79. In 1987, she co-founded Rosa Parks and Raymond Parks Institute for Self-Development to serve Detroit. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Reverend Al always reminds us of the importance of knowing our history. I hope that the words you just heard don't rest only with you, but that you pass it on. Pass it on to our youth, pass it on to our seniors, pass on the information of a proud heritage of Black people in this country. Amen? Thank you, Sister Giddens. Right now we're going to have a treat. We have a guest soloist who is going to do a Billie Holiday medley. And so we'd like to welcome Sister Andrea Sanger. Andrea Sanders, excuse me. Okay. Oh, the mic there, ma'am. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. My name is Andrea Sanders. I'm going to sing just one song. It's not going to be a medley because of the time. I once heard someone say that if you don't know your history, you're bound to repeat it. So this is why I'm singing this song, Lest We Forget. Southern trees bear strange fruit, blood on the leaves, and blood at the root. Black bodies swinging in the southern trees, strange fruit hanging from the poplar tree. Pastoral scene of the gallant South, bulging eyes and twisted smell of burning flesh for the crows to pluck, for the rain to gather, for the wind to suck, for the sun to rot, for the tree to dry. Here is a sweet and bitter
Thank you so very much for that wonderful rendition. You know, Billie Holiday was one of our greats, and it bears mentioning in our Black History Month program of who she was and the legacy that she has left. At this time, we're going to ask our brother Owen Rogers, who is from the NAN Men's Auxiliary. He's going to present us with a keynote address.
Thank you, sis. As we begin Black History Month 2023, it is important that we understand we are part of a continuum. But instead of just noting what happened yesterday, last week, last month, last year, I think that we ought to be able to challenge ourselves and be bold enough to say we will use that to shape tomorrow. With that in mind, I would like to speak to some young people. Parents who are here, you're free to listen. Not a big secret. But some of what I say, I fear has not been heard before by our children. My own son reminded me when he must have been, I guess, about 7th grade. He came home and he was asking me some information, particularly about Marcus Garvey. And his challenge to me, the old man, Daddy, how come you never told us about this? And here I am 30 years later, and that challenge still it still weighs on my conscience. How come you never told me about this? When we talk about Black History Month, when we talk about Black resistance, it is important, it is critical that our children understand they have a role. It is important that they understand when we hand them the tools, that these tools are to be used by them the next 10, 20, 30, 50 years to shape their future. As I speak to some of our young people, they may not know exactly who Langston or Arturo or Jay Rosamond or James Weldon or Zora or Freddie Washington. They might not know any of these names. And the question comes back, how come you never told me about this, Daddy? How come you never told me about this, Mommy? It is critical that our children understand the roles and the resistance that their grandparents, great-grandparents, foreparents have played. It is equally as important that they understand the mantle is being passed. We may internalize some of what Maya Angelou has taught. We may study some of what Dr. Youssef has taught. They are the ones who note some of the mileposts back there. They are the ones who even tell us that we missed a step and this, and this is what we should have noted. They may even be the dreamers and the architects who help to forge new paths. For some of our young people, or to some of our young people, I speak with great respect, understanding that they, with the tools in hand, are the ones who have to be gearing up and getting ready for battle. I fear some of the clashes, some of the conundrums that our children will have to face. I understand the resistance of Malcolm. I understand the sharecropper's child who might have come to the streets of Harlem and might have turned the world around for a whole lot of black folk who did not know the meaning of black pride. I understand that. And let me dare say, there are some people who are only too glad in this day to sell you the books, to sell you the kente cloth, to sell you the recordings, to bring you the Hollywood movies that talk about back in the day. The resistance that our children have to build up should be gleaned from what has happened in the past, but it also should be something that is taught to them at home. Strange fruit that our sister just sang the song. We, particularly in the 30s and 40s, between the wars and leading up to the 50s, we had hundreds and hundreds of us who were that strange fruit. How many of our young people even know what the illusion is if we refer to strange fruit? How many of them even know that great-great-grandpa who disappeared one day might not have been an accident because the day before that, some white property owner said, boy, you're supposed to do this, this, and this. And then grandpa disappeared. This is part of the lesson that we need to be aware of. If we want our children to be part of the resistance to what has always been, part of the resistance to the American tradition, part of the resistance to things being done the way it's always been done, we have to make sure our children understand their role in black resistance. The fact that things happen in our neighborhoods, and this is critical. On the streets of this very neighborhood in Harlem, you had black men and women who died. No police report was ever filed. You had black men and women who disappeared. And it happens that some of them, children, grandchildren, may walk in these doors, but nobody knows the circumstances of their disappearance. The fight that was started yesterday is a fight that we have to continue today. It is critical that we not let other folk, the pros, they may be the professionals, they may be the talking heads, the scientists, the professors. They are the ones who are setting the curriculum for our children. They are the ones who are deciding what our children learn, where they learn it, when they learn it, and how much of it they learn. What about us? Daddy, Mommy, what are you going to teach us? This is critical. Even as the debate goes on in Albany about the curriculum for inclusion and making sure that things are done that include us in the history curriculum, it is even more important that the curriculum of our homes be part of that black resistance. It is important that when we talk about Kujichagulia, and now I'm in the second term of the year-long celebration of Kwanzaa, that when we talk about Kujichagulia, we're talking about us defining what is important, us defining what is critical, us deciding our roads forward. It is interesting that in some of this week's newspapers, you would have read, oh, you know what? We have a shortage of people to work in this particular field. We have a shortage of people to write this kind of book. We have a shortage of people to provide this kind of fruit and this kind of labor. When those statements are being made by experts and government professionals, they don't come and ask us, what do we have a shortage of? They don't address our children in terms of who needs to be the thinkers, who needs to be the philosophers, who needs to be the teachers of the teachers going future. I mention this because it is disturbing to some folk when we talk about us setting the curriculum. It is disturbing to some people in our community, and certainly some people in Washington, D.C. and Albany, if we talk about black resistance needing to be part of our curriculum. Again, the echoes, you know, Mommy, what did you teach me? What didn't you teach me? Daddy, what did you teach me? What didn't you teach me? Our celebration of Black History Month is critical in that it provides us a platform. It allows us to perhaps get a perspective on what is past, to understand who all the people are that Frederick Douglass, Malcolm X Boulevard, Harriet Tubman, who some of these streets are named after. That's important, and that perspective is not something to be neglected. However, the roads that take us to the next group of planets in our galaxy, the paths that take us to the next development of our children, that's critically as important. Not a whole lot of our children are writing biographies of Malcolm or Adam or Mary McLeod Bethune. More of them are picking up the books, the scientific toys that they're playing with. And the challenge now is how many of them are being told, you know what they did with this gizmo, you can do even better. Do we dare say that to our children? What they did with this particular gadget that's halfway on the way to Mars right now, we could do even better. You, my son, my daughter, can do even better. The resistance that some of our children have to studying those old, dry, boring stuff in school is because they don't see themselves being part of that. And they don't see that being part of their lives. The platform that Black History provides us is a platform that should include black resistance. Resistance to everybody pushing us, well, we need to be moving in that direction. We need to figure out how to get more people to fit within the space of Harlem. We need to figure out how to get maybe automobiles to move faster using less. That's one thing that they're doing. Our children need to be challenged to take their journey, to take their imagination, to take their intellect in directions heretofore unknown. Knowing our history doesn't necessarily, is not necessarily a bad thing. Knowing our history can, in some cases, make us better people. When we begin to use that history to inform ourselves and to lead us to more intelligent decisions in the future, that is when parents have achieved the core of what is necessary in gifting our children. Do we want to study Black history, or do we dare to become part of Black history? It is important that our history, as we celebrate every February, our history as we celebrate Black resistance to oppression for the last 400 or 500 years in this part of the world, it is important that that be seen in context. Telling you that your granddaddy was in Barbados and he grew bananas, and that can be helpful in terms of helping individual children to be grounded. Telling children about them inventing new ways to feed ourselves, or, and this may be a challenge to some of you, not to eat the crap that they're selling in our neighborhood stores. Telling that to our children is what takes them forward. Because if they do continue with this kind of diet that most of us have had, you will understand why a lot of our children, they will be the ones suffering diabetes, suffering asthma, suffering high cholesterol. Maybe we should be challenging our children to, yes, understand what the past has done. Yes, understand what George Washington Carver did. But me, if I have an allergy to peanuts, and a lot of people in our community do, if you have that kind of allergy, we then have to be able to make the move to say, wait a minute, how can we feed ourselves? How should we be feeding ourselves in the future and not necessarily copying the past? Black history as we celebrate it, and the black resistance that is included in history, is part of the firmament, it's part of the grounding from which our children can launch themselves. It is now a realistic thought that my grandchildren, they may visit some other planet before their lives are over. One time, that would blow my mind. But here we are, in this day and age, that is an entirely possible scenario, that our grandchildren will be walking the soil on some other planet. Are they being prepared for it, or are we leaving it for other people to decide, and direct? I am anxious to talk about black history that is not yet made. That's a conversation for our children and our grandchildren. Let's talk about black history that has not yet been written. And then comes the questions, but Grandpa, yes, you are part of that history. But Grandma, yes, you will be shaping, or you should be shaping, that history that is not yet written. The people in our community who have the knowledge, the people in our community who are able to inspire, the people in our community who can lead, certainly we don't have to leave this building to identify dozens of those people. Our children will not be learning, and this is the painful truth, there is not much of a curriculum or lesson plan on these parts of our history. Most of our children don't learn any of this in their classes, which is another reason that our children should be here, and not just Monday nights. As wonderful as the things are that are being done with some of the teenagers on Monday nights, we need to have some young people in here every day of the week, every night of the week, or this knowledge, this curriculum does not get passed on to the future. When we talk about black resistance, some of the resistance that is important for our children to understand is grounded in the knowledge of these people who are on the walls of this place. Our children are a critical part of what we do. I know some people who spend hours and hours and hours every day working to make sure that children have a certain amount of coins. You know, 50,000, 5,000, 500,000, 5 million. Their legacy that is being tended by the banks or the stockbrokers, that is something that quite a few of our community people spend a lot of time on. Why are you doing this? Oh, so my child can have a house. Why are you doing this? So my children can afford to fly where they want to. The legacy that we're teaching them is that, you know, you bust your butt to get a couple of dollars to pay somebody else to give you what you might have had if you had stayed home with the children instead of being out there busting your butt. Understand that conundrum. Our children, as we prepare them for the future, need to understand there's more than one form of black resistance. I want you to think, as sometimes I sit and ponder, the road to our future, the renaissance that is necessary, that comes through people like Leonard Jeffries and Zora Neale Hurston, Phyllis Wheatley. They did not speak solely to their time. If they did, they'd be dead and gone, forgotten, and that's it for them. They had the intellect, they had the insight, they bore the challenge of speaking for their time and for ours. We here in 2023 in Harlem, USA, we bear a similar burden. It is not enough that my children can make $100,000 a year because they went through a certain path in college and got a certain degree. That's not enough, because if they have $100,000 a year and an apartment costs $20,000 a month, how much progress have we made? If they have $100,000 a year, but the buildings that are around here, they can't afford to live in it, how well have we prepared them? It is something that, as part of our preparation for today, we have to be aware. So we talk about black resistance, we talk about renaissance, we talk about the idea of our children understanding the things in the past that help them to shape the future. Sometimes, maybe today for the first time, we have to think about our children preparing themselves for the future. We want them to know Black history, yes. We want them to study, yes. But we don't want them just to memorize rote facts of who did this, what date they did it. We want them to understand the reasoning behind some of the leaders in our past. We want them to understand when we talk about things again like Kwanzaa, when we talk about Kujichagulia, defining ourselves, we want our children to be able to step up and say, oh, now I understand what you were talking about, Daddy. I didn't just memorize some facts out of the past, but I'm also to the point where I've learned some things that will prepare me for when I become a parent. The ideas of our children, the ideas that our children learn in school are important. And I would support and hail the Education Committee, what they're doing here within NAN. I support and I hail many of the ministers who frequent this place and the work that they do. What I am suggesting that maybe we haven't spent enough time on is that we have to be alert to what our children will be thinking and doing. And we have to challenge our children. What are they going to be doing? What are they going to be doing in the future? Black History Month is a wonderful, wonderful idea. Don't get stuck in the past. Black History Month gives us a firmament from which we launch ourselves into the future. Our children, as we prepare them for the future, get past the idea of Black history and understand that they then become part of Black futures. Thank you.
My people perish for lack of knowledge. There's power in knowing our history. There's power in knowing where we are going, our focus, and passing the legacy on to our children. Without further ado, I'd like to now ask for Sister Emerald Garner to come, and she is going to give a Black History Month presentation. And we're sort of changing the schedule a little bit because I understand that she has to leave. So let's welcome her. Let's give her a hearty welcome.
Hello, family. So, as you know, we are the Garner family. My name is Emerald. This is, say your name.
EJ. Rosie. Kaylee.
And the purpose of our presentation, which it was planned, sorry, it was planned. So Mondays, we attend the huddle here with Ashley and Dominique Sharpton, and we are proud huddle members. And you know, the huddle has helped me a lot, so much that I wrote about it in my book. I think it's important to bring my children because that's where I found my voice, and that's where I want them to find their voice. So when I do events, everybody know I'm youth-led. Every youth event, anything, I'm always going to show up for the children. So what we wanted to talk about today was loudmouth. So we have a message from Eric, from EJ, Eric Julian. This is Erica's son, and this is my daughter, Alyssa's in the back, and this is our cousin, Rosie. And we all have, you know, a relationship to the movement because of the tragedy that happened to my father. So EJ has a message. Thank you for his message. Thank you, EJ. Last Monday we watched Loudmouth, and I felt like it was important for the kids to see Loudmouth, and I wanted Rosie to share what she felt about the movie. And because of Kaylee, she's been, you know, everybody's seen Kaylee here since she was 2 years old. So I just want to get a different perspective, another perspective from Eric Gardner's great niece. Okay, Rosie, tell us what you felt about the movie. You can turn this way. She's a little shy, so please excuse her back.
It was emotional.
It was emotional. She's very shy. So what Rosie said was, it was very emotional for me because there was too much racism. So coming from a 7-year-old, and she can identify what's going on in the movie, that is important.
I'm 8 years old.
Oh, she's 8. I'm sorry. She can say that. She can't say her message, but she can say that. But it's okay. But I just wanted people to realize and understand that the children have a voice, and it's a meaning to everything. And when I asked Rosie to say things like, you know, when I'm like, talk about how you felt about the movie, is because from a 7-year-old, and she's saying that she's so emotional that she can't watch the movie because of all the bad things that are happening to black people. And it's our job to teach the babies. It's our job to make sure that they understand, and that when things get a little too overwhelming, that we're able to explain things the way they need to be explained. So I'm gonna let Kaylee give her perspective of Loudmouth and her experience in the movement. And we know that Kaylee's my child, so she gonna say what she gonna say, and I'm gonna move to the side, and she's gonna close out this segment. Do you think, girl?
What I felt about the movie was I cried a little bit during like the beginning because I saw how Al Sharpton got like stabbed and stuff. And then once it was towards the end, I really kind of liked it. But then I'm just wondering like if that ever happened to me where I had to fight for somebody in my family, then like say if my mother got hurt or something by a police officer, I would have to deal with that, and then I would have to go through everything that Al Sharpton went through to fight for other people, even though he didn't have to, but he was generous and he was nice enough to do that for other people and their family.
Our children are our future. I'm going to keep it rolling with our children and invite a Black History Month presentation by Gino from the Youth Huddle.
Hello? My bad. Hi, everyone. So I'm going to do Dr. Youssef Salaam, the one that was a part of the Exonerated Five, and he grew up in Harlem, and he went to jail because he was accused of something for rape, and he was treated unfair. Now he's in Harlem running as city council for District 9. He wants to stand up for Harlem like how Harlem stood up for him. And I got one more person, my mom. She is a single mother, and I gotta find what I wrote what I said. My mom is a single woman of color raising like me and wanting the best for me because God said that I was born for greatness.
Well, thank you, Gino. We are definitely proud of you and continue to do what you do in the huddle. Let's give him another round of applause. And how did you like our Garner family presentation? Our children are our future. Okay, all right. I believe this sister is, okay, come on up here, sister. You can put it up front. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Black History Month. 1 month can't hold our history. Every day should be Black History. My name is Jennifer Arzu, a self-published Afro-Latina author. I wanted my first children's books to represent children of color, which seems so rare to see in bookshelves. I felt like it was my responsibility to inspire and motivate children to believe that they could conquer what they want to achieve, even if the task seemed impossible. My children's book is written in English and Spanish, titled Never Give Up on Yourself, and Nunca Renaissance a tu memoria. I will be reading my English version, Never Give Up, to you guys. Before I start, I want to thank God for never removing his hands off of me and for allowing me to accomplish my goals. I would also like to thank my precious son, he's not here, Amias Davis. I'm grateful and thankful for him. You have grown into a strong and reliable man. I'm excited for your future and to see you blossom. I want to thank my family and close friends, but most importantly, my parents, Husta Arzu and Prospero A. Arzu. Timothy, I can't believe you are heading to kindergarten, and before you know it, you will be in college. Timothy's dad said to him. Timothy looked confused. College? What's college? Timothy whispered. His dad answered, college is an institution for higher education. Timothy said, that sounds difficult, Dad. I don't believe I'm ever ready for college. His dad replied, no matter how difficult it may look or sound, son, never give up on yourself, and please don't quit. As Timothy and his dad head to the kitchen to continue their conversation about college, his mother asked them, what are you guys talking about? Timothy said, college, with a smirk. His mother replied, that sounds like a good topic, and exactly what were you saying? Timothy replied, that I don't believe I'm ever ready for college. Timothy's mom replied, why not? Timothy replied to his mother, then I would have to meet new people, and they might be mean to me. Timothy, as long as you continue to surround yourself with people that would like to see you win, you will be fine, because that's how I met your daddy. Everyone laughed. Later on that night, Timothy was thinking about what his mother and dad was conversating about in the kitchen earlier. He decided to look for his mother so that he can finish the conversation they had. Timothy screamed down the hallway, Mommy, Mommy, where are you? Timothy's mom shouted, in the basement, son. Timothy began to tell his mother that he was thinking about their conversation earlier and decided that college didn't sound like a bad idea, and he was willing to go when he got older. That's good, son. I'm proud of you. And no matter how you feel about new journeys, always encourage yourself because you are worth it. But in the meantime, let's get ready for kindergarten. As she grabbed him closer and smiled. As it was time for bedtime, Mommy and Daddy came to my room to tuck me into bed. Dad said, son, when it's all said and done, just remember you'll never give up and don't ever quit. Always push through no matter the obstacle, because we will be right here for you, son. We love you, son, Mom and Dad said. I love you too. Good night, Mom and Dad. Good night, son. The end. As a single mother of a 16-year-old, I always try to push him no matter what it is. Basketball, football, I'm always there. Because we have to push our next generation to a better outcome in life. No matter how it may look, how it may seem, we just gotta push our next generation to a better positive role models. So, thank you.
Thank you so much for that. I'd like to now introduce Ms. Lena James, who is going to speak about keep your hands on the plow.
Yeah.
That's right. See, somebody's smart out there. Amen. I just wanted to start off by saying I work in education, and we just always must remember we cannot start Black history with slavery. Our people did not begin there, and our legacy does not begin there, and it surely will not end there because of the work that we are doing here today. Got my hand on the freedom plow, won't give nothing for my journey now. Keep your hand on that plow, hold on, hold on, hold on. Keep your hand on that plow, hold on. The only chain that a man can stand is the chain of a hand in hand. Keep your hand on that plow, hold on, hold on, hold on. Keep your hand on that plow, hold on.
Beautiful, 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 unexpected treat. And we are moving around this agenda and trying to make sure that we are timely and honoring our time. I've been asked to announce that there are some refreshments in the back. Please make sure that you visit the table and the ladies will serve you. And also, we have wonderful, wonderful vendors who are back and have excellent products. And please just visit them and show your love and show your support. That is a part of our collective community, is when we support each other. Amen? Okay. May I ask for our little award-winning huddler to come to the podium at this time. His name is Caden. Oh, is Caden not here? Oh, okay, I'm going to keep it moving. All right then. All right. He has done some amazing things. He's a new little poet laureate, and I'm hoping that we will have an opportunity to hear him at some point very, very soon. Okay. May I ask for Julius, excuse me, Tehida, I think it is. Please forgive my mispronunciation of the name. Brother Julius to come to the forward, who is going to give us a Black History moment. Woo.
Hi, NAN family. How are you this afternoon? I apologize. Julius Tahiz had left. He had another engagement, and we're moving just a little bit behind in the program of the attention. I need silence, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. We're going to give everybody the respect when they come up for whatever it is that they're doing, however they're performing, and we're going to adhere to the guidelines. I do want to say, since I'm up here at this moment, I'm going to be speaking about the Education Committee. I am the chairperson. We collaboratively put our efforts together with all the committees, women's, huddle, men's, political, every committee here, so that we can give a show of excellence. And of course, it is not maybe enough time, only 2 hours, so we might do another part 2, because it takes a lot of time to celebrate our wonderful people of color. But since we are here on that note, I will say, and I need for you to let me know who I am now that I switched the hat. As I'm here with my pearls and my chucks, and I have been moving around the city spreading good cheer, and doing a lot of community service. I attended Howard University. I am sitting in the White House right now as the second chief of command to President Biden. And so I need for you all now to wonder and guess who I am. Right, VP Harris. So now that we have all of our history facts together, we have more people here to celebrate in this space. And I would like for everybody to have a moment, so we're gonna get it down to like 2 to 3 minutes each. We have, Nancy is still left to perform. And, okay, so I'm gonna turn it back to our mistress of ceremonies, and we will continue with the program. I do wanna say one more thing. Don't forget, please, because we are a welcoming space. We need people to pick up the brochure, the membership brochure in the back. Take it, read it, get involved, decide on what committee you would like to be on, or in fact, invent a new committee if you like to do that. But let's work together. Let's work together, and let's fight for social change and social justice and equality for all. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those announcements, appreciate it. I would just like to give another little quick commercial for our national annual convention in April. Please sign up, please tell everyone you know to take a flyer or to get the information so that they may participate. It is a free convention, but we need to know how many people are coming. And so we're asking you to sign up sooner as opposed to later. Thank you. All right, our next person that we'd like to invite to the podium at this time is going to provide a dance solo. Her name is Nancy Ward. Is Sister Nancy Ward here? Okay. Oh, okay. Woo-hoo, Nancy!
Well, can you turn the mic on? Sure. While Nancy is preparing for this, I asked Nancy to participate in this program because NAN Arts and Culture has lost one of its lifetime members. Her name was Dolores Martin Morales. And she was responsible for bringing me to National Action Network over 14 years ago. And she told me that there was an organization that did a tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. called the National Action Network, as I was the artistic director for New York City Housing Authority. And that's how I found out about National Action Network. I knew about Reverend Al Sharpton, but I didn't know about the fact that the whole mission statement of National Action Network. So I want Nancy, as Nancy dances, we will remember Dolores Martin Morales. And so a lifetime member, she also came in, her husband passed 2 years before she did, and her husband and her are lifetime members of National Action Network. So they are together now in glory. And as we glorify his name, give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Nancy Ward.
so far. You should be ashamed of yourself. So I was ashamed of myself. The lies I believe, they got some roots that run deep. I let them take a hold of my life. I let them take control of my life. Standing in your presence, Lord, I can feel you digging all the roots up. I feel you healing all my wounds up. All I can say is hallelujah. Look what you've done. Look what you've done to me. You spoke your truth into the lies and let my heart believe. Look at me now. Look how you made me new. The enemy did everything that he could do. Oh, but look what you've done. Suddenly all the shame is gone. I thought I was too broken, now I see you were breaking new ground inside of me. Standing in your presence, Lord, I can feel you digging all my roots up. I feel you healing all my wounds up. All I can say is hallelujah. Look what you've done. Look what you've done to me. You spoke your truth into the lies and let my heart believe. Look at me now. Look how you made me new. Oh, the enemy did everything that he could do. Oh, but look what you've done. On the cross, in a grave, with a stone rolled away. All my debt, it was paid. Look what you've done. In my heart, in my mind, in my soul, in my life. With my hands lifted high, I'm singing. Look what you've done. Look what you've done to me. You spoke your truth into the lies and let my heart believe. Look at me now. Look how you made me new. Oh, the enemy did everything that he could do. Oh, but look what you've done. On the cross, in a grave, with a stone rolled away. All my debt, it was paid. Look what you've done. In my heart, in my mind, in my soul, in my life. With my hands lifted high, I'm singing. Look what you've done.
Thank you so very much for that beautiful praise dance presentation. So wonderful to remind us of look what our God has done. Amen. Okay, we're now going to move to another section, and I'm going to invite the gentleman who just spoke a moment ago to come back to the podium. This is Dr. Arnold Penix, the chair of the NAN Arts and Culture Committee.
And everyone knows I'm black, blacker than black can be, blackety black. The big black man is here, and we are excited about all you beautiful black people out there. And as I said before, Garvey Land of Black Stars is a project that we started, NAN Arts and Culture, at the Marcus Garvey Park. And that means we have historical figures come to life. And part of that is as me in the image of Marcus Garvey. And also we have a presentation to set off the whole, we had Adam Clayton Powell, James Brown, you'll see later. But right now we're gonna bring on Mary McLeod Bethune to give you a little history about her and how she believed that education was the key to our success. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mary McLeod Bethune.
Praise the Lord, NAN family. I just want to first give honor to God, who's truly the head of my life. I'm just going to read a little bit about the extraordinary life of Mary McLeod Bethune. Mary McLeod Bethune was born on July 10, 1875 in Maysville, South Carolina. She died May 18, 1955. She was an American educator, womanist, and civil rights activist. She was one of America's most inspirational daughters and champion of African American women's rights and advancement. She was an advisor to the President of the United States. She was the first one in her family not to be born into slavery. She started a training institute for Negro girls. She created pencils from charred wood. She made ink from elderberries and mattresses from more stuffed corn stacks. She was appointed by President Franklin D. Roosevelt to the National Youth Administration in 1936. By 1939, she was the organization's Director of Negro Affairs, which oversaw the training of tens of thousands of black youth. She was the only female member of President Roosevelt's influential black cabinet. She was also a leader of FDR's unofficial black cabinet. Thank you.
Give it up for Mary McLeod Bethune. Next, we have a very sexy lady who was a big part of the Broadway scene. She starred in Golden Boy and many other Broadway productions. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Miss Lola Falana.
Yay, yay, today I get to meet Lola Falana. She was my idol when I was younger. Okay, so Miss Lalita Elaine Falana, that is her name. She's better known as Lola Falana. Yeah. Lola Falana was born September 11th in 1921. And I'm just going to say what I know of her instead of reading the whole thing. Okay, she was born in New Jersey and then moved to Philadelphia. At around 3 years old, she started dancing. By the time she was 5 years old, she was in the chorus at church. She was noticed for her talent and skill in dancing, and at a very young age, she was discovered by Diana Washington, known for her blues. And then she was later on in a show in Atlanta, and Sammy Davis Jr. discovered her. He mentored her on her way. Then she was also a singer. What I didn't know when I was younger is that she was a singer, dancer, and actress. And so she made a song, and then she also went to Italy. She learned proficient Italian language, and they loved her there, just like they loved Josephine Baker in France. They recognized her talents above and beyond. She made 3 movies in Italy, and she also became very popular in a television show that was a late night show in Italy. Then she came back to America, and then she started doing other shows. She did a Broadway show which Sammy Davis Jr. put her in and made her a star. And then she went further to started dancing in Las Vegas and became the highest paid woman performer in Las Vegas. She was a true talent, and when I see her now, as a child, I thought it was so easy to get up there and dance. I admired her beauty and her sexiness, but I didn't know what was behind being a strong dancer as she was. It takes great discipline. It takes great taking care of your body. To be seen above a white woman dancing in those days, she opened the doors for many black young ladies dancing now. Before Alvin Ailey and all of that stuff was as popular, she was doing her thing. And now we have other dancers that paved the way, like that wonderful black ballet dancer. But at the time when I was young, in the 70s, it was Lola Falana. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Give it up for Lola Falana. She's going to be dancing when JB comes out here. Gospel Gabe, are you ready? Gospel Gabe, are you ready to come on out? Come on down. Gospel Gabe is here, and then we're going to go right into his thing. And he's a spiritual gospel rapper, because this is the house of justice, the house of the Lord, and he's going to be doing his Gospel Gabe rap. But in the meantime, JB Band, are we getting ready? All right, get ready, JB Band, so we can take us out of here. Okay, Gospel Gabe is coming up, and Gospel Gabe was part of I Look to You, the Gospel of Whitney Houston at the Harlem Center. There's your mic right there, Gospel Gabe, take it away.
Give them that heat.
Yeah, how y'all doing today? How y'all doing on this wonderful day? Thank y'all for having me in the House of Justice. This is my first time. And the songs I'm about to do, We Need God Now, and Cries of the Silent Heart. So I hope that the words are receptive, good, and received, because God gave these words to me. And I'm just waiting for the sound guy to press play. I count on God to get me through these nights and days. Inside this night life, all you see is strays. They walk around stuck, lost in their way. They don't know how to pray. They're confused about how to live life today. Lots of people dying. Right is wrong and wrong is right. Ain't no end in sight. I trust God, but the world don't trust Christ. He died on the cross, but you still don't trust Christ. Something is wrong. We gotta fix it quick before this world is gone. I trust God to get me through this storm. The victory's waiting for me and just for me. Cause we need God now. Cause we need God now. Cause we need God now. We need God. Turn me up. We only need God just to make it through. Count on Him, nobody else can get it through. We only need God just to make it through. Count on Him, nobody else can get us through. We need God now. We need God now. We need God now. We need God. Trust God, even though you don't see how He works. The world is going through turmoil, man, it hurts. You can't even watch the news. There's always something bad, nothing good for nobody. Yes, it's sad, even churches got issues, but it's alright. God is taking care of everything, He's gonna come to light. Never worry about He don't love you. I see all things, that's just true, and His love don't change. When everybody else does, and they turn their back, you can count on God not to do that. You know why? Cause we need God now, we need Him right now. We need Him right now. I need Him right now. No, we die. We only need God just to make it through. Count on Him, nobody else can get us through. We only need God just to make it through. Count on Him, nobody else can get us through. We need God now. We need God now. We need God now. We need God. I can't chance life. Things ain't right. So much going on and you don't know what's right. And when you do what's right, they want to say you wrong. When it's wrong, person steps up, they say they wrong. But we have a system to follow that always fail. Black people either get killed or put in jail. This road has been on too long and it's time to get on. Pray to God so we can change this course. You know why? Because we need God now, and it has to go down. He's the way out. He's God, He can move us around. But everything else leaves to the ground. I look to my God to hold me down. Because He's always around. Because we need God now. We need Him right now. Because we need God now. We need Him right. Because we need God now. We need God right now. We only need God just to make it through. Count on Him. Nobody else can get us through. We only need God just to make it through. Count on Him. Nobody else can get us through. We need God now. One more song and I'll be out the way. Turn me up, turn me up.
Okay, guys, we're gonna come back to you, okay?
No problem.
All right. So what's gonna happen now? We're gonna bring out JB, and that'll conclude our segment here. But that's what's gonna happen. JB, James Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for James Brown. Where's he? Reverend Sharpton. Reverend Sharpton. Reverend Sharpton. Oh, he eating. Oh my God. Oh While JB's getting it together, we got one more person here. Are you not ready?
Melinda Lee to come up, please.
I stay in. Okay, I'm going to Miami right now.
Melinda Lee is going to do Inside You and Me.
Happy Black History. So I made it. It was hard to get here. I just flew from Atlanta, Georgia to Tennessee because of the cold. But God is so good because I hate giving commitments I can't keep. So we don't got no music, so we got a band and he gonna follow me, and it's called Inside You and I. And it goes like this. To my mother and my brother, I thank you. To my sister and brother, I thank you. To my mother, I cry your pain. It's something about you that will never change. Because it goes like this. Because it's you and it's you and I. You can do it, don't give up, get through it. You can do it, don't give up, get through it. You can do it, girl. Come on, it's you and I. Cause love, come on, it's love, it's you and I. It's you and I need you to pull up your pants and put your belt back on. Pull up your pants and put your belt back on. Sisters are out there, they're out of control. The mommies in the babies, what happened to your soul? Guns and the guns and the not on win. Youth in the bounds, we got to stop it in. Yo, here we go now. Just pull up your pants, put your belt back on. Pull up your pants and put your belt back on. Pull up your pants and put your
the building, exonerated 5, as he leads and he represents the man, the legend, and he's here today. Welcome.
Peace, family. Yeah. Listen, today is such a great day. I'm riding high because I just told the people that I have publicly announced what I'm doing. I know we kind of hinted at it last time I was here before you, but next city councilman for Central Harlem. Yes, indeed. So listen, we need all the support we can get, but this is not politics as usual. This is a new day where a person who has been part of the people on the bottom, as the spike wheels of justice have run over us, now seeks to become one of the people who can echo and carry the voices of those individuals whose voices have been turned down into the halls of power as I assume this office with your support. And so it's a beautiful thing to be here today, beautiful opportunity. I'm so happy to be here and celebrating with you as well. You know what I'm saying? And the craziest thing about this is that I was built for this moment. Everything that has been going on with me has been happening for me. So before I leave, I just want to share a poem real quick. It's called The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. The revolution will not be televised. I can remember when that statement made me sad inside. Too young to be in it. Now I couldn't even see it. Why? Why couldn't a revolution be televised? The Last Poets, Gil Scott-Heron. As I grew up, I began to see. They left theirs, and I too wanted to leave a mark on history. A man in half, and I wanted to bask in that task that set men free. But a revolution, the revolution, is where I knew I had to be. The revolution will not be televised. They didn't want to display the victory of those quote-unquote lesser men. The revolution will not be televised. Smile. I know. Because I am the revolution. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Salaam, for taking the time out of your schedule to come here and bless us with your presence and bless us with your plan. I do want to recognize two people right now, really quick, because they stepped up to the plate for the Education Committee. One is Melina Scott Lee, in recognition for Martin Luther King Day participation with the PS 175 Henry Harlan Garnett School. She helped out with the students for the PPE care kits with the Fire Department Engine 59 Ladder 30 on Friday, January 30th, 2023 with the first graders for outstanding collaborative efforts with NAN Education Committee Harlem Chapter. Scout. Let's give her a hand, please. Thank you so much. And the next person that I want to recognize with a certificate of appreciation is Noelle Manning for extraordinary service and dedication to NAN Education Committee Harlem Chapter as the co-secretary with her professionalism. Noelle, will you please come to the stage? Where are you? Come. I think it is a great thing that we are building and we are growing. And a thing, come back. We have a special closeout with the song. No, Manning, come to the stage, please. You can't duck out of that. You cannot duck out. Thank you so much. I do want to make one other little special announcement. Because of the nature of domestic violence, because of the youth violence, because of the gun violence, the NAN Education Committee is going to have an initiative where we are going to go to the businesses on the blocks, and we're going to ask them to save a child's life, and they will become the safe havens again, so that when children are in danger, they have somewhere to go and feel safe. Because as long as the businesses are getting our money, they cannot turn a blind eye on children. As we know, a child in the Bronx ran into the store and he was beat down and killed inside the store. But some store owners are turning their heads and turning their eyes, and we will not allow that to happen. So we're going to take numbers, and we're going to ask them to participate borough-wide. Next week, you can come and get your sheets from me and get the signatures for the businesses, their names, their address, telephone numbers, and we will go back to the grassroots movement as usual. And this is our closing song.
I'd like for you to quiet your hearts and your minds right now and just concentrate on the Holy Spirit. Shine on me, shine on me, let the light of your lighthouse shine on me, shine.
Brothers and sisters, I think our program today has exemplified our diversity, our creativity, and the wonderful breadth of our imagination. So I'd like to just give every single person who has come up to either perform or to sing a song or spoken word or give a presentation, I'd like us to just give every one of them a great big round of applause. Okay, before we close out, we have just a couple of other things that we're going to do. People have been asking me about my attire today. I'm very proud to say that a sister from Harlem, a designer by the name of Queen Belkis, is the designer of my outfit. She's a local sister, very talented, and this outfit is about 35 years old, so that goes to show you how much quality is put into her clothing. Sister Belkis. Okay, she's Queen Belkis. All right, we are going to move forward. I'd like to ask Dawn if she would please come to the podium at this time. She will be making some closing remarks before we part. One more time, visit the table for refreshments, and please, please, please visit our wonderful, wonderful vendors. Thank you. We will try. Brother is asking us to have a group shot, so we will try. But before we do that, let's have Sister Dawn.
And Dr. Salaam, will you please approach all huddle, youth huddle members, the youth, Youth Huddle members. Emerald, where's the children? Come to the stage. Youth Huddle members, the youth. The youth. Gino? Yes. In the center, right here. Right here. It is important that we let the youth be around greatness and the youth connect. Make the connection. I know we have adults that are part of the huddle as well, but this is the youth's moment right here.
Let's let all of our children, our youth huddle children, come so that we can have a photo opportunity. Very, very valuable. Okay, thank you so much, and thank you, Dr. Youssef Salaam. And everyone who participated in this beautiful Black History Program moment, thank you. That's all our committees, and of course, all of you. It couldn't have happened without you. And I do want to say, Sister Kathy Sharpton, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We need to move out swiftly from the building because we need to. An extra reminder, as you exit the building, we have a membership folder brochure to the right on the counter. No, hold on, we have one more singer before. The Star Spangled Banner. I'm sorry you were overlooked. That was not intentional. Please approach. Thank you. Can we please direct our attention, please, so we can have a lovely performer perform the Star Spangled Banner. Thank you.
Hello? Oh, thank God. Hey, everybody, how you doing today? It's Patricia from MTV. Yeah. I'm so excited to be guys today. I wish I had another week to finish my vocals and stuff like that. I'll be practicing all the time, and God bless everyone. Okay. Okay. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light was so proudly revealed at the twilight's last gleaming, who was stripes and bright stars through the perilous night. For the land once we fought was so gallantly streaming, and the rockets were glad, and the rockets were glad, almost burned. Start it all over. And the rockets were glad, almost bursting in air, gave through the night. Our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner sway for the land and all the free and all the hope of the
Thank you. Greetings, National Action Network. I'm just going to close out. I'm Dornell Jones, Chairwoman and National Board Member here at the National Action Network of the Political Action Committee. Our meetings are held every fourth Saturday of the month. Members can join by simply coming to a NAN Political Action Committee meeting and signing the attendance sheet. They have registered with the NAN Membership Committee, which is there on my left, and I also have membership forms on your right. If you're interested in being a member, it's $25 a year or $500 lifetime membership. Our sister Malak Shabazz, the youngest daughter of Malcolm X and Dr. Betty Shabazz, became a lifetime member on today. The mission statement of our Political Action Committee is a forum to discuss issues that affect the membership, as well as all informed members about all current legislation on the city, state, and federal levels. The NANPAC Committee is also a forum to recruit and train members for political activities. The NANPAC Committee hosts Fifth Saturday forums, Voter Education Forum Project Series on gerrymandering, housing, finance, for ballot measures redistricting status last year in 2022. We have some voter registration forms on my table to the right. In closing, February is Black History Month, when we celebrate the culture and essential contributions of African Americans to our network and city and nation. It is also a time to remember the long struggle for equality and freedom. As recent events in our nation have made clear, we still have a long way to go to fully achieve that goal, but we cannot and will not give up. This year's theme, Black Resistance, is a call to celebrate all those from the great leaders of the civil rights movement to men and women whose names we do not know who saw and experienced injustice and took a stand against it. During difficult times, we can take inspiration from those that have come before us. I would like to thank our keynote speaker, Owen Rogers. If he's still here, please give him a hand. Resolved to make the world a better place in the face of insurmountable odds. Here at the National Action Network, we take pride in our efforts to fight back against injustices, past and present, by ensuring our workplace is diverse and equitable and inclusive, by serving all our fellow New Yorkers with the care and compassion they deserve. There is so much more yet to do, but we have never backed down from a challenge. This month, please join me in learning more about and celebrating African American history and our culture. And once again, thank you for everything you do for your fellow New Yorkers. Our cause speeds on its way. So once again, I thank everyone for coming out. Our candidate for City Council, Youssef Salaam, for stopping by, who officially announced on today. Patrice Perry, Katrina Jefferson, all that's on staff at the National Action Network, and all the committees that were involved. Gina Williams, Education Committee, Arnold Penix, the Arts and Culture Committee, our Mistress of Ceremony, Althea Aaron, and Women's Auxiliary. If I left out anyone, I apologize, but please, on your way out, support our vendors. We need to continue to support our Black-owned businesses here in the Harlem community, especially during Black History Month. And my table is there to the right. I'm DJ Card Creator, along with Angel Foundation and Amani's Creations and Entertainment Incorporated and Holistic Harlem. Peace and blessings.